have the coolest job in the world? I'm going to say it's definitely up there. Now, I know this isn't my usual matchday vlog, but whilst United were headed to North London, I took the train down to East London to terrorise a few West Ham fans instead. Tell me this isn't what Saturday's made for.
Hey guys, welcome to your watch along for Manchester City versus Liverpool. You guys asked, so I'm doing this. But I actually do prefer doing watch alongs for other teams more than ours because it's just too hard. But make sure you guys are, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and getting into the chat. And letting me know what you guys are thinking. I have the game here on my right, you guys on my left. And I know I had like a weird look on my face when I first started the stream, but it's because I thought I saw like an AI commercial and it freaked me out. So there you go. But Matta says, watch along fun. Just you and me, big dog. Yeah, for now, I think it's just you and me. And I'm sure more people will join in a second. So yeah, but I'm excited for the game. I'm hoping it goes the way that we want it to go, which I think for the most part is we all kind of want to draw, right? You guys can let me know in the chat if you think differently, but I think we're looking for a draw. And if we don't get a draw and somebody wins, we want Liverpool to win, I think. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, listen, I would rather Liverpool be chasing us than Man City. But I guess the topic of conversation is, how do you guys feel after yesterday? Are you feeling a little bit better now? Is this result going to make a big difference for you? Because, we haven't done one of those in a long time. One of those like therapy sessions. It was like a 2-hour stream after the game. We haven't done those in a long time. And I forgot how like therapeutic they can be, but also it's like, damn, are we panicking a little bit too much? So I guess I want to know how you guys feel after yesterday's result. Cause I'm kind of like a little over it. Just want to see what the result is for today. But I think the reaction to it, I was like, damn, are we overreacting? Like, what's going on here? G says, hey, Jess, hello to you. Valeria says, prediction. I actually think Man City will win. They're at home. I'm not really that convinced with Aston Villa. Sorry. I was just thinking about Aston Villa because they won today. Not really that convinced with Liverpool after the Aston Villa and the Real Madrid games. And I just think City are hitting a little bit of form. Some decent form with Haaland being basically like a robot, so I think they will win. I don't have to look at Liverpool's record at the Etihad to know that they don't usually win there. So I actually think City will win like 2-1, or even maybe 3-1. I think Liverpool will score, but they won't win. Need some Haaland points for FPL today. I don't play FPL, but maybe just a couple points for you, but still like not getting all 3 for the team. That would be great. Junior says, hey, Jess, hello to you. John says, hey, Jess, hello to you. Valeria says, still vexed. We were 4 minutes away from winning. Yeah, I think like if we had been like 1-1 the whole time and then the game just ended, I do feel like it feels slightly different just because we thought we had gotten out of there. But I remember fixing my stream for after the game and not putting the score up yet because I was like, I don't feel confident in us not conceding. And like maybe 2 minutes later we conceded. And I'm just like, damn, like I just wish we would have defended that better than what we did. But we can't get the points back. It's over. So all we can really do is move forward, you know. John says yesterday's result felt like a loss, hoping for a draw today. Yeah, it does feel like a loss for sure. Because we had it in our hands, you know. If Liverpool win today, the title is look done, especially with their fixtures after international break. If Liverpool win today, the title is, I don't know what LWK means, but done, especially with their fixtures after international break. Let's do a FPL league next year. Yeah, maybe next year. I just feel like I have a hard time rooting for people that are not on Arsenal. But no, I hear you for sure. Maybe next year we'll do one. Beauty for Ashes says, if we have Jokeris, we would have won. Dog Maui says, can this back four be as good as George Graham's famous back four? You know, I saw a lot of like dooming the back line yesterday, like, oh, I told you they wouldn't beat Chelsea's record, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, we've only conceded 5 goals this season, and almost half of those came in one game. This is still an incredibly good back line that had so many clean sheets. Well, we've had the best defensive line in the last 2 seasons, so I think that that says enough, you know, but I think if we win anything this season, this back line will have put in an extraordinary performance throughout the season. So yes, I do think they can be. Let's see. Don't worry, we will smash Liverpool. It's City season. Fair enough. Agbalo says, come on, you Gunners. Montes says, weird bozo moments at the back yesterday. Maybe a good wake-up call at the right time to stay focused. And John says, yeah, we need to adjust FPL for the community. I'm also really competitive, and I don't know if you guys want to play anything against me because I'm not nice when I'm not winning. So, but we shall see. But yeah, like there was some uncharacteristic, weird bozo moments yesterday. And I just, with Declan, I think that that was definitely fatigue. You saw him at the end of that game. He looked like he could barely walk. And I don't really feel that great knowing that he's going to go to England camp or whatever, and then probably play 180 minutes in 2 games that really don't mean shit, you know? So not that they don't mean anything, but they don't mean anything to me, you know? So I'm a little concerned about that. Hopefully Saka won't play because maybe he needs to play. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Zach's right now. I really don't. But it just feels like some players need to rest their legs. Now, international break is not a resting time. So there's that. But hopefully we'll get some players back. Valeria says Tottenham and Chelsea are must-wins now. No room for draws after yesterday. I mean, we never really had any room. I think that it's like now these are must-wins. It's like, when were they not? You know, I think this is my thing. It's if we had beat Sunderland but then drew to Tottenham, okay, all of our games from now are must-wins. Like there's never any room or anything. I think it's just we weren't used to dropping points, and so now that we have, I feel like people are panicking a little bit, you know. There was never going to be any room, and if we had drawn to Crystal Palace instead of Sunderland, the next game would have been a must-win. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Like there was never a time where every game was a must-win. As soon as we started to go on that run, I knew the moment that we dropped points, it was going to be like, okay, now we can't lose a single game. We're definitely going to drop some more points. You know, it's just about how you rebound from it. I feel like we've been overacting a bit. Games like this are always inevitable in the season. The guys just need to make sure there are very few and far between. I agree. People underestimate how important Jokeris is for us. Yeah, I mean, he is important. I do kind of think that, you know, he had the really good game against Burnley, but before that, there were questions around whether or not he was settling in good. I just think in general, we need to get other players back because they're all really important to the team. Jokeris was a miss yesterday for his like pressing and stuff like that. And Marino didn't really give us that and like pinning defenders. So yeah, no, I hear that. I think what we've learned is we need other attacking options back. Like what we had yesterday just wasn't anywhere near enough. When you haven't even subbed yet, and the only thing you can see off the bench is like 2 18-year-olds and a 15-year-old, you don't have enough right now, you know? Mata says, imagine it all works out for Jesus this year. I would love to see Jesus go on a little run. I don't have high expectations because I know how injury prone players can be. But, if he could just give us a couple goals, I'd love that. What's good, people? Jess, your loose cannons cameo was fire. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Granite and the crew were possessed yesterday. I'll give them credit. I'm okay with taking the point. What was funny was looking at all like the social media posts from like, the ESPNs and all that kind of stuff. They're like, Jack is gonna Jacka with that post of him standing over Marino. And I was like, you guys didn't like when Jacka was jacking at Arsenal, but now that he's doing it against Arsenal, you guys love it. It's interesting. Graham says, I was very disappointed about yesterday. Rice should have never came out of goal, but my surprise was how we couldn't match Sunderland's physicality and keep the ball. I mean, we're not going to be more physical than everyone. I think for the most part, we have a very physical team, but when a team is very much so based on being physical, which is pretty much Sunderland's like whole thing, you know, here's the thing too. It's like we really could have scored like 3 or 4 goals and they scored the 2 chances that they had, right? So it wasn't like we needed to match their physicality. We just needed to play with some coherency. In the second half, we were pretty much just locked them in their half and scored a couple of goals. And we got, even before we scored the goals, we had like 2 chances right away in the very beginning of the second half. I don't think we needed to match them physically. I think we needed to not be silly. And we had some uncharacteristic bad moments at the back, and both of those opportunities ended up being goals for them. So, we're not going to be more physical than every single team. And I think for the most part, we haven't been like this weak side. Like, if anything, they use our physicality against us most times. Like, if we beat somebody on a corner, it's, oh, they were fouling and they're pushing and they're doing this and that. So, we're not going to be more physical than everyone. And we didn't need to be more physical than them to beat them yesterday. We just needed to not be stupid. And I felt like we made some uncharacteristic bad mistakes. Hagen says Arsenal's best team in the league so far, but it's crazy how close Liverpool and City are. Pep is right. Nothing is conclusive in November. I mean, no, it never was, but I mean, it's not like we've been perfect. I think the thing is like, even like last season, let's use last season as an example. City fans will say, oh, well, you guys, and this is last minute, and there's not going to be no scoreboard, no nothing. I probably put a little scoreboard at the bottom, but there's not going to be no timer or nothing. This was very last minute, and you guys know I don't do watch-alongs. I'm just going to put that out there. I will let you guys know when my stream starts, but that's about it. But last season, we had a poor season in the Premier League, and I think that was very clear and evident by the fact that we were so far behind Liverpool. But City fans were saying, oh, we only finished 3 points behind Arsenal in our worst season, and Arsenal had a good season. We didn't have a good season. We had a good Champions League run. We did not have a good season overall. And I think that's the thing. It's when Arsenal are going through things, it's like everybody gets intentionally obtuse when it comes to Arsenal. We have been the best this season, but we've done better than City and Liverpool so far, with also having things that have kept us from performing at our best. We've just done things, we've just been able to deal with the bumps in the road a little bit better than them. Even though City and Liverpool have had probably some bigger dips, we just dealt with injuries and new players, filling in multiple games a week better than they have. So it's not like all of the elements have been perfect for us and everything has been bad for them, and they're right behind us. We've just dealt better with the things that everybody has dealt with. We've had the second most injuries in the league so far. So I'm really not trying to hear all this like they've had these horrible seasons and Arsenal have been perfect, but look how close they are. We've dealt with shit too. We've just dealt with it a little bit better. I just don't think Liverpool could win the title with 4 losses and no draws. They drop more points for sure this week. I think this game, they should be doing the same thing that they were doing to us when we drew to Man City. They were saying if we lose to Newcastle, it's over. I feel like this should kind of be like that for Liverpool. If they've lost 5 games, most people would consider them out of the title race, but they won't because it's Liverpool. Mata says, wish Dex scored that half court shot. I mean, I wish Declan would have scored that. I wish Zubimendi would have scored the chance that he had where he ghosted into the box. I wish he would have scored the chance that hit off the bar. I wish they didn't clear it off the line. I wish that Ballard didn't do the block. We had so many chances. I wish Eze would have hit the target. There's so many things that happened in that game that we could have done better. We have Miles Lewis Skelly, Ethan, and Max Dowman didn't even get minutes. I don't think any of them would have helped. I'll be honest with you. The idea of Ethan running around, he's not going to keep the ball off of Ballard. He's not going to hold the ball up well. He's not going to chase. He's not very good at pressing. The idea that they were going to make a huge difference, I feel like, is a little disingenuous, but I don't really want to go too much back into that. The points are gone. Graham says, I wish Marino just put away that last chance. Fair enough. Doug Maui says, Jess, how big is Arsenal in America? It's big. Most people, I meet lots of people. I was actually at my gym. There's actually been, the game is about to start, by the way. Let me just wait for a second. And we've started. So my stream is now started. I actually have been at my gym multiple times and met several Arsenal fans there. I've never met fans of any other team, but there's always people in my gym in particular in LA with Arsenal shirts on. Arsenal is really big in America, but the big teams are really big here, like Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, big teams here in America. All right, the game has started. Let's see what's going on. Watch City get an early goal. Doku, Wirtz. Yeah, I think they figured out that they need to put Wirtz on the wing and do the normal midfield so that they can have some stability, which is kind of what we've been saying for a while now. That midfield is very good, and you didn't need to fuck with it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, he went with the normal midfield, which makes a lot of sense. And then Wirtz on the wing, basically exactly what they did against Real Madrid, I guess. Bringing Andy Robertson in the team has helped them because Kirkez was drowning and Bradley is doing a decent job. So hopefully they're able to withstand the pressure. Holland, Cherky, Doku, that's a good front line. Bernardo Silva, Nico Gonzalez, Foden, O'Reilly, Gavardiol, Ruben Diaz, Nunez, and Donnarumma. So 2 strong teams. Nobody's really, I think City are the only ones that are missing a big player, right? They're missing Rodri in the midfield. So yeah. Come on, Liverpool. Do not get whacked. Please. I actually hate that we have PTSD from the 2 title races against City, but it is what it is. Nobody's won since Pep has been here. I don't think anybody has won the league, or when they've been dominant, won the league against them if they haven't fully fallen off in the first half of the season. Both times Liverpool has won. City haven't really. They've basically had a bad season and been out of it halfway through. So if we have to actually go into the second half of the season against them, it's going to be interesting because nobody's really been able to beat them if they're good in the second half of the season, if that makes sense, so yeah. Now, just seeing O'Reilly there, I know some Arsenal fans are concerned about MLS and will he get in this World Cup squad? That's not my hill to die on. It's not something that I care about particularly because, I'm American and all that. But, I don't think Tuchel should be able to pressure Arteta into doing anything. MLS is 18 and he'll get his time. And they really don't have that many good options at left back. Jed Spence is not the best. O'Reilly is a good young player, but like not taking MLS just because he's not starting for Arsenal, the best team in the league so far, feels a little bit like I'm just trying to be different. Like, come on now. Let's see. I think this is the first time I'm rooting for a draw. Yeah, for sure. We're definitely looking for a draw here. I hope they play cagey and they just take a draw. The Americans notoriously don't care about the rest of the world. Well, I definitely don't care if England win the World Cup or not. I mean, I would love for, like, I want to see our players happy, but like our players play for all different types of places. So I'm like, I really don't give a shit, you know? Cross in, Konate, did you deal with it? Not really. And Doku is dribbling through everyone. He's going to be a problem. He's actually going from side to side as well, which I wish we did more of. I wish our wingers popped up on different sides so you couldn't really track where they are. But we don't do that. Everybody just kind of stays in their spot. But Doku has popped up on the right and the left so far and is giving them a difficult time. If I was him, I'd stay on word to side. He's not going to track me. And if he does, I'm going to go past him. Euros winners for sure will almost certainly have an Arsenal player winning. And City are the benchmark. It still kind of feels like Pep can steal your girl if he really wants to. I mean, they've been the most dominant team in England for like 6 years now, or even maybe a little bit longer than that. Like, it's just not hard. It's not easy to dethrone dynasties that are still very much so doing their thing. It's not like City have like no good players anymore and they've fallen off completely. They just have times where they fall away. And then the next season, it feels like they come back even stronger. So, yeah, here comes Doku, pass into Foden. Foden takes a bad touch. Van Dijk closes him down, ball out. Yeah, Doku is going to be a big problem. He just cut in and found a very, like, if Foden can get a better touch there, he might. But Van Dijk is always closing him down. But just imagine if he's passing that to Haaland and not Foden. Like, they have the runners, they can find the space. It's interesting. I think Liverpool just need to ride this little 15-minute wave for a second and not concede. We don't need City to go on a run in the second half of the season. We don't need City to go on a run. I mean, if they're in a title race, if they don't fall off in the first half of the season, they usually do go on a run in the second half of the season. Oh. Salah! No, that wasn't Salah. That was Gakpo. Oh, no, that was Salah. So we have to be prepared for that because this doesn't look like the type of City side that's going to fall away in January. They look like they're getting stronger as players are coming back and learning the system. So if we want to win it, we have to be prepared to go toe-to-toe with a good City side, which, again, nobody's ever beaten a good City side to a title that hasn't fallen off in the first half of the season. But what also ends up happening is in the second half of the season, it does feel like teams don't even try against City. And they may be, but it does kind of feel like they're beaten and they kind of just chalk those points off at like a free hit. And so City get that little roll on. But I feel like teams almost like beating Arsenal more. So they play hard against us in the second half of the season and they kind of roll over against them. And so we have to be prepared for that. We really have to, I think we have to keep our lead. We have to keep our buffer over them in the first half of the season, and we're going to have to be damn near perfect in the second half of the season. Oh, no, you idiot. That was a handball. Soboslai twice. That's a fucking handball. Oh, my God. They've already capitulated. No way. Soboslai. I felt like that was two, man. I felt like that was two handballs, bro. I really do. Oh, Soboslai. You idiot. Look at these bozos. Look at those bozos back. Oh my. Actually, that's a foul even by the keeper initially. It's like 3 pens in a row. He barely touches him though. He barely touches him. Doku goes down, and then when he shoots, I feel like the goalkeeper barely touches him, but he does clip his foot. And then I swear Soboslai 2 handballs, it's a penalty. Yeah, it's a penalty. Yeah, it's a penalty. Well, there's that. Liverpool collapsing in the first 10 minutes of the game. I even think it's two hand. I feel like even Soboslai handballs it both times that he blocks it. No matter what, this is a penalty. Damn, already. Y'all saw the way Jess's eyes glistened when Salah was going for the goal. She's officially gone on loan to Liverpool. We're cooked. Well, I would much prefer Liverpool win this game, but it doesn't look like they're going to because they're already conceding a penalty in the first 10 minutes. Burmy says, did you watch the Bournemouth game? They fell off a cliff. No, I didn't. But I saw that they got whooped. Yeah, you're giving a pen, you cunt. Excuse my language. See, that's why I don't do watch-alongs, because this is going to get demonetized anyway. Just say you're giving a pen. We know it, dumbass. The goalkeeper, you idiot! Slot. Yeah, it's over. It's like, yeah, dark. Nah, but Villa is a decent side, so no worries. I mean, Bournemouth were second like a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, I don't know why they're acting like this. Liverpool, you quite literally conceded. Like, I don't even want to see the shots because I know they went off of Soboslai's hands. Like, it's a penalty. It is what it is. I still can't figure out whether you do Arsenal watch-alongs, and if so, how and where does one stream? I still can't figure out whether you do. I don't do Arsenal watch-alongs. I don't do Arsenal watch-alongs. So, you know, I can't watch my team. I can't, so on camera, it doesn't go well, so I'd rather do this. Love your reactions, Jess. I'm the worst reactor. That's right, Marshavelli. That's right, Marshavelli. That's right, Marshavelli. That's right. That's right, Marshavelli. We're still in it. We're still in it. Holland's going to score later anyway, but at least we get a reprieve for the moment. We can believe. Believe you're going to draw this game. Believe you're going to draw this game. Let's go. That was a terrible pen. I can't lie. That was not a good pen. Yep. Good save. Like it. I want to see more of your head loss. No, you don't. It's not nice. It's not cute. Jess, I still can't figure out if she does watch-alongs. Along with the tactical issues, LFC is missing Allison. There go my fucking Holland points. You're going to get him later. He'll definitely still score in this game. Do you collab with other channels? If so, which ones? I do shows with Diluted. Diluted is my favorite person to collab with. We've been doing shows together for like 3 years now. And so we do stuff. And then hopefully I'll be on Loose Cannons again in a cameo capacity soon. But I mostly just collab with Diluted. So if you know him, we do shows on Thursdays. John says, I wanted City to score first. I think Liverpool have enough to equalize. Why not 0-0, Why not 0-0? Keep the scores down. I mean, it will be boring, but at least they can, "Oh, it's so boring. The 2 most entertaining teams is just boring," I would love that. Damn, Holland. But Holland will score later anyway. I think it's like a 2-1 City win still, you know? 'Cause I also think Liverpool look a little shaky. They look a little shaky. That little calamity that they had back there, that's how it started. What's his name? Bradley and, Konate back there. Look at again. Foul. Feck. Can't believe that Bozo saved it. Before social media, did Americans understand football culture and language? I feel like you were in an OC soccer mom bubble. I was in an OC soccer mom bubble. Well, I think social media gives you a lens into other people's cultures and then you can understand it. So, no, I don't think I understood football culture before social media really. And I started interacting with people um, in Europe. So yeah, no, I hear that. But I was definitely in an OC soccer mom bubble. Amon says, "How's the game so far?" Choppy, save penalty. Liverpool really haven't gotten like a foothold in the game at all. City kind of dominant and a little better touch here, maybe not a slip there. They might have had some more openings. So far City have been the better team, but that's to be expected, I feel like. Not gonna lie, I think if teams can clamp Holland, that's half the battle to winning the game against them. Yeah, for sure, because the other players don't seem to show up with goals as much. It's not a nil-nil game. It's not, but I wouldn't mind it. I'm just here for the result. I don't need to be entertained today. A stinky nil-nil draw from the city pool, like that would be great. Fuck them. Yeah, watching this game, I forgot Liverpool were even playing. It's been all City. John says VAR should be introduced in the WSL. Arsenal were robbed. Yeah, um, we definitely should have won that game. We scored 3 goals and 2 of them should have counted. So, yeah, Stark. I think the WSL should invest in VAR. The refereeing is so poor, and that in itself needs to be fixed anyway. The referees need to be better in general, and then they need to add VAR so that because everybody gets refereed poorly in that league. The difference in the Prem, it feels like it's pointed towards certain people, but in the WSL, everybody is refereed poorly. And that's just not good for one of the best, if not the best women's league in the world. You should have VAR. The NWSL has VAR. Take it. Oh my God, you idiot. What are they doing? Idiots. Can you guys get control? Doku is killing them. Doku is killing them. That's on target if it doesn't deflect off of Van Dyke, idiots. Stupid. Get it out. Yeah. This is what I was saying. I was like, Liverpool looked better in the last 2 games, but I don't actually think they've turned as big of a corner as maybe they think they did. Because Aston Villa basically like just basically just were ridiculous, and played right into their hands, and Real Madrid were awful. Uh, they're playing against a good team today, and they look really shaky, but it is City at the end of the day. So, if you're gonna be shaky against anybody, it's gonna be City, right? Take it. Okay, Bradley. It's gonna be a long, long game. Long, long game. She aficionado says even Liga F has VAR. Okay, Marshavelli, get it out. Um, and the only team that wins is Barcelona. This is true. I mean, they're trying to pretend like Liga F. Go Ekatike, slow now. That title race is close just because Barcelona dropped some points. Nah, just because they dropped some points, they're still going to easily win the league. They're still going to easily win the league. And honestly, I feel like more of the Barcelona players should leave that league and test themselves in a tougher league to see what it's like Mariona has, because yeah, Barcelona just kind of walked that league every year. I know it's probably kind of fun, but like, don't you want to do something else? This will be 0-0. I will take it. I will take a nasty one. 0-0. I don't care. Like, I'm not here to be entertained. I'm here for a result. A result that favors us. And a draw favors us the best. Come on, Salah. Show me you're not washed. Salah? They keep going backwards. Soboslai, what the fuck was that? Come on. It's disgusting. Are Barca and Madrid the most popular teams in LA? Yeah, they are. You hurt? You hurt, O'Reilly? O'Reilly Auto Parts. You guys probably don't know that, but it's a jingle from back in the day. Oh, Tuchel, are you going to have to call up MLS because O'Reilly's hurt? Tail tucked. Told you guys earlier. Y'all don't have enough not to be calling up MLS. You think you do, but you don't. But yeah, Barcelona, Madrid, I think they're just the most popular teams in the world, respectively. But I would say in LA, probably, especially like Barcelona, when we played them in preseason, SoFi Stadium was full. And there was more Barcelona fans than Arsenal fans, like a lot more, and it was full. So yeah, I think probably Real Madrid and Barcelona are the most popular. Are you injured? I can't support Liverpool. I'm trying to, but maybe it's because of the heritage. I'm not supporting them. I'm supporting Arsenal. That's how you have to think about it. I'm supporting Arsenal at the end of the day. They should at least make it that when Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Man United face each other, that VAR is present, because the top four always shifts amongst them. Plus, they play in big stadiums. Yeah, I just don't understand why they don't have it. Like, the amount of bad calls, and I just don't think the referees are very good. So yeah, they should definitely have it. And because yesterday probably cost us any chance of getting back into the title race. So yeah, they definitely need to have it. Dows, let's say, still hates Soboslai for rejecting us years ago. Did he? He rejected us? Really? That's news to me. I didn't know that. I'll be honest, I'm okay. Oh, yes, we were linked with him like years ago, and he said he wanted to like stay at Salzburg or something like that for like another year, and then he went to Leipzig after that, I think. Yeah, no, now I remember. I'm cool. You know, he's a good player, but I like the players we have. I imagine rejected Edu was easy though. Edu was keeping us down, and we know that now. We know that now. Now, why are you down? This is very stop-start. Nothing's really happened except for the penalty save. Who would you rather win today, City or Liverpool? If somebody had to win, I'd rather Liverpool win, but I need a draw. That's what helps us the most. Oh, good. Every time Holland gets near the ball, I'm like, no. Marshavali, kick out. Was it out? Do you think Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Guler trio will last long term? I think Vinny might leave. Mm, I don't know, because I don't really see what do we think the market is gonna be like for Vinny if and when he decides to leave? Is it just Saudi, or do you think he can actually go to another league and perform? It's not that I'm with Vinny Jr., he's still kind of young, but he feels a little bit like he's losing some cachet, some je ne sais quoi, some, he's losing aura. So I don't know what it's going to be like if and when he does want to leave Real Madrid, but I think he stays there and then his next move is a big money move Saudi. I cannot see him anywhere else. And these like more systematic managers, the Artetas and the Peps of the world, they're not going to want somebody that's going to fully distract from the rest of the team. Like he really does fit the Real Madrid ethos of like superstars and individualism. I just can't see him going to a team that's, like a company Bayern, or I just can't see it, so I don't know. I think he might just end up signing and staying with them because I don't see until he can go Saudi. But that front three needs some work. That front three needs some work. That's for sure. Imagine he goes to Napoli. Mm. Everything's really gone downhill since he made a big fuss about Ballon d'Or. Everything's gone downhill. So I don't know. If he ends up at Napoli, that would be shocking. Come on, Bradley. Doku is killing them. Doku is killing them. This is what they said he was doing to us, by the way. And I was like, he didn't do none of this against us. He had like one little run. He was not doing this to us. He's terrorizing y'all. Vinny has never quite had it like that. Maybe being one of the best players in a bad era for top players, maybe that's the reason why. But he genuinely looks like a rec player at times for me right now. And that doesn't seem to be that quality of like the best player in the world kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe PSG, like Montes is saying, but even they feel like they're in a good position where they don't need him. They have Kvaratskhelia, they have Barcola. That should be a yellow. Good. Yeah. They have Kvaratskhelia, they have Barcola. Like, why ruffle feathers? Especially after like Luis Enrique just got rid of somebody like Mbappe that was very much so like me, 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 me. I'm telling you, these coaches, like, I don't think outside of like Ancelotti can deal with that personality. I really don't. He's very distracting. Liverpool ain't got a shot. To be fair, we don't really get shots there either. Liverpool, you're chasing shadows. Liverpool, you look a little rickety, like you're falling apart a little bit. Get your shit together. Yeah, they were like, Doku, the performance he put in against Arsenal. It's like, he wasn't doing none of this against us. Keep it fucking for real. Y'all be lying so much. Like, I'm sorry. Doku did barely anything against us. He had one little cute run where he hit it across the goal. Outside of that, they were defending in the box. Like, let's be serious. Grow up. Vinny is realizing that it's Mbappe's team. Goal. I told you he was going to score anyway. And there it is. 1-0. Liverpool, it was always coming. If if he doesn't fall away, it's they're gonna go all the way to the end. What do you think about people trying to call Salah washed? Mm, look at con artist. He's better than Gabrielle. Now, to be fair, Gabrielle didn't have the best game yesterday, but you know what I mean. That's a good cross from Nunez. Con artist. I mean, it was just like for two, he didn't even know where the damn ball was. Fuck out of here, man. Salah washed. I mean, I think there's also been a lot of changes to the team. And like, if I'm being fair to him, when the team is changing from get the ball to Salah, Salah's our main guy, to, oh, we're trying to shift the focus to Ekatike or Isak, that's difficult, so, and you have a coach that's trying to change stuff. So I think it's a little premature to say Salah's washed. You got to give him time to adapt to not necessarily new surroundings, but just a new way of play and new dynamics. But, when somebody's been so good for so long, I think you have to be careful about saying that they're washed after like 10 games, you know. Oh, this is going to get ugly. Look at Liverpool are just going to fall apart now. It's bones. Yeah, 2-0. Oh God. Yeah, they're about to get rinsed. Doku is on fire, Foden looking slick. Just I think if we stayed at Highbury, did not sell our best player, I don't think Fergie would dominate the league. What do you think about that? And Wenger with the money would be unreal. Um, yeah, I mean, I think in hindsight, moving to the Emirates stunted our growth and basically started the downfall of Arsenal. So yeah, maybe if we would have stayed at Highbury, and just used the money the way that we were before, stayed in the small stadium, all that kind of stuff. But if Wenger had the money that Arteta had, we dominate everything. I think Arsen's biggest thing was money, but then he also was against the use of that money and maybe would have never utilized it the way that we are, like buying 100 million pound players and stuff like that. So you just never really know, and you can't rewrite history, but I would be interested to see what we would have been like if we had stayed at Highbury for sure. 74% possession. Yes, City is back. Liverpool's title race could end today. Here's my thing, Matt, is I think that if this were us and we were on the cusp of losing 5 games in a row, they would be saying, because they said that our title race would have been over had we had not beat Newcastle. And I don't know why people aren't saying that their title race is over. So I don't know, but they won't. They'll say that they could probably get back in it. 5 losses? I don't think so. I also think mentally, I don't think they're really as locked in as they were maybe last season. So, yeah. What was that scream, girly pop? Can I make a meme of that, please? No, please don't. City have deserved that lead, to be honest. Yeah, they've been very dominant. They definitely deserve the win. Let City score so that LFC can wake up. My stream is so damn far behind. City are so technically superior. Yeah, well, they always have really good technicians. That's never not there for Pep, for sure. You have Shirky out there, you got Foden out there. Um, you know, they have a midfielder at right back. They always have good technicians. That never goes away with Pep. I don't think he'd ever have a team that was just most like brute force kind of stuff. Like that's not him. It took him a while to get back to wingers that wing, for a long time. He was just playing tens at the wing. So yeah, Wirtz, can you rise, please? He won't rise. He is fully unrisen. There is no rising for Wirtz. He can only play good in European games where the spaces are big. Like have been a non-factor today. Just like basically the whole team. They haven't had a shot. They've been comprehensively dominated, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like they've been dominated. Yeah, I feel like they've been dominated. Okay, since you said no, I won't I won't clap that, although it would have been funny. Not the scream. This is why I don't be doing watch-alongs because I'm like, I don't wanna be a me. Um, will he eventually rise? I don't know. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I mean, I said what I needed to say about these words and these Javi Simmonses and these lot. Like, they're just like, "Oh, ref." They're just until they play in a league that doesn't allow them to have all that space and they adapt, I don't know. I just we've seen it so many times with Havertz was a bigger talent coming out of the Bundesliga than either one of Wirtz, and Xavi Simons, in my opinion. Like, when Havertz was leaving, everybody wanted him. He was the next thing. He was the biggest thing. Um, and back then, if you spent like 60, 70 million on a player, that was like 100 million something, right? And he was just awful when he got to Chelsea, genuinely. He just never quite looked like the same player. Um, and there's been very few that have come to this league and not looked sus. So, yeah, especially in that particular position because I just feel like it's hard to find the space in the Prem, and if you can't ride challenges and you're kind of weak, you kind of fall by the wayside, but that's just me. Now, maybe if Wirtz had gone to City, he would have had a better chance. This is gonna be ass. Like, you could just tell, like, they're about when they score that second goal, shit. Y'all ain't had a shot on goal. Bitch. They look rough. Is McAllister okay? Okay, at least he got fouled. I was like, "What is he doing?" Low-key, Pep probably doesn't like Holland. He's a bit technically average, but kinda needs him for their plot. I mean, if I was a coach, I would love having Holland. He's a cheat code, and he just without him, they would be not average, but they wouldn't be as inevitable. I think that's the problem that we have with City, is that with Holland, they are inevitable. The goal is coming. It's gonna be very, 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 very rare that they go throughout a game and do not score multiple goals, and they make it easy on themselves because Holland also scores lots of goals in the first half. And so they can take players off, they don't have to play as hard in the second half. We need somebody to become inevitable, and I just don't know if we have that. Um, so that's the problem that we have going because we're basically going up against Holland. I don't even look at it as going up against City. I'm like, we're literally going up against Holland. Like, we need to be inevitable. And to be fair, this season, outside of the first couple of games, we've pretty much scored lots of goals or enough goals, but our main attackers are not really scoring the way that I feel like they could be. So we'll see. The difficulties for the new transfers to the Premier League this season have reinforced for me how difficult it can be to integrate to the Premier League. Agreed. Ah! Let's go. We're alive. We're alive, guys. We're alive. Is that a set piece? Is that a set piece? Surely not. Oh, they took it away. They're cheating. Oh my god, they took it away. Where? Huh? Where? I literally don't see shit. Where? Oh, he was standing in an offside position. Fuck off. Oh, we were almost alive. We were almost alive there. It's a great header. Andy Robertson is not even in the goalkeeper's eyesight. He is wide of the goalkeeper. The protection of goalkeepers is very dark in this day and age. Because to me, he's just standing there right next to a City player. The City player is actually closer to the goalkeeper, blocking the eyesight. Is bullshit. I actually hate that rule more than most of the rules that they brought in now and that have been like used a lot with VAR. It's this whole in the line of sight in an offside position. Fuck off. They're letting Doku just run past them. It's like Andy Robertson was not blocking the goalkeeper from getting to that ball. But it is what it is. Once a rule is a rule, they stop using common sense. It's like Andy Robertson was wide of the goalkeeper. Like he wasn't standing right in front of him. But I guess because the ball went in that area, I don't know. And also, a Man City player was standing right there next to him. But okay. Not their set piece getting ruled off. That's peak. Doku is peppering Bradley. Yeah, he's working him. But it's not even like they have a better option. Go, words. Fuck. They're changing the offside rule to entire body next year, apparently. I definitely think that should go away because that to me falls in the category of getting rid of goals for getting rid of goals' sake. Like to me, that's a perfectly good goal. And the goals that are called off because you're like, wait, what happened? Oh, he was in an offside position standing near the goalkeeper. It just feels like you're just getting rid of goals for goals' sake. I think they need to get rid of that, especially if there's a player that's like right there next to you. There was a Man City player actually standing in front of the goalkeeper. It wasn't like Andy Robertson was just there by himself. You're offside. What? Idiot. Imagine Wirtz doing something. The idea of it is hilarious. Marshavali, just hurry up and pass it. The fuck is he doing? Damn, they need Allison back. That got rolled out so quick, like the shake is controlling the computer. Liverpool robbed. Donnarumma literally had full vision of the ball. I think they got lucky there. I think that rule is a nice way of them ruling out goals for the sake of ruling out goals. Like, I don't know. I have to look on Twitter at halftime and see what the Liverpool fans are saying because I really don't like that rule. I really don't. I just feel like it's protecting the goalkeeper for no reason. Losing Trent, Diaz, and Jota had a huge impact on their team synergy. Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I think the problem that you have though is that nobody would have doubted that you guys would have had um a a year to like get back in order. Um like an off season, but because they harassed Newcastle, harassed Crystal Palace, was talking about doing a quad, that's where the cooking is coming from. It's if they had said we've lost all these players and we're probably going to need like a year to get up to speed with all the changes, then that would have made sense. But they harassed Trent, which to me is still crazy. They were harassing the shit out of Newcastle and Newcastle fans in the club saying that you need to give us your player and fuck you and all this, which I thought was just like, yeah. Um, the way that they acted when Crystal Palace decided not to sell Gahey and they acted like you just have to give us your player. He doesn't want you anymore. He hates you. Like, can you just give us your player? All of that, I think, is the reason why people are like, well, you did all this, so why are you not winning? people would have understood that they literally had a player that passed away in a tragic and very, like, abrupt way, that they lost Trent, but they acted like Trent was keeping them back all these years, you know? That's why I don't feel like anybody has any sympathy for them, you know? Um, Connor Bradley's getting ragdolled. They don't have another choice, y'all. They really don't. He's getting whooped, and that's just the reality, but, like, what are they gonna do? You know, Connor Bradley is their best option. That's what I was saying when they were like, "Oh, Doku was killing Arsenal." No, this is a murder. This is murder right here, what he's doing today. He didn't do shit like that against Timber. Let's be serious for 1 minute. Daniel says, would be Liverpool's 5th loss from here, and I see a 1v1 fight, Arsenal versus City. Darkness, my old friend. Darkness, my old friend. A 3rd title race against Man City with Haaland playing like he's possessed is not how I want to spend the beginning of 2026. But what shall be, shall be. The Isak flop so far is crazy, honestly. I mean, they can say whatever they want to say about, well, he was basically on strike and he didn't get preseason, but wasn't nobody saying that about Gyökeres? Nobody was saying that about Gyökeres. He did the same thing and nobody gave him a minute, so I don't wanna hear that shit. If you guys concede right now, I promise you, well, I don't know what I'm promising because I'm not gonna do anything, but I promise you I will not be a happy girl. 7 whole minutes too, like, that's a long ass time for Holland to score again. I need to reply to this. I'm so, like, Liverpool, respond. Connor Bradley getting ragdolled, I read that one. I want the title race. Well, apparently you're a glutton for pain, because I don't. Don't push it. Y'all gonna give up another I don't like this goalkeeper. I know he's the backup, but it's giving unserious. I know he saved the penalty, but he makes me nervous. Getting bullied too. Like getting bullied. Getting bullied. Getting bullied. Getting bullied. One thing that really annoys me about Van Dyke, one, it's the undercut. I think it's unnecessary to be bald at the bottom right here. Like, I don't really like the undercut at all. But the way that he looks at his teammates when he has to, like, do his job, like, block something or whatever, like, come on. He has such, like, a bad, like, attitude, it feels like, against his own teammates. I don't really like that. Arsenal will be much stronger after international break. They have the most attackers back. We've had the title race. We don't need a race anymore, brother. I need a trophy. I know, right? But this is the pain goal. Game done. They let Nico Gonzalez score. That was. Did they not concede 2 set piece goals? The first one was a set piece, wasn't it? Or no? You guys remind me, because that was definitely a set piece. End the stream! Y'all asked me to do this. We've had the title race done, Nico, and the stream game over 2-0. Virgil van Dijk seems in. This is definitely a set piece. No pressure on the ball, deflected off of Van Dijk. Where's the pressure on the ball? It's dark. That was super dark. When you start getting lucky goals like that, where it's deflecting nicely right into the corner and shit, here they go. Here they come. But yeah, Van Dyke, he does this thing where anytime he has to defend or do his job, he looks at his teammates like he hates them. And I'm just like, I just feel like there's a different way to do things. But I mean, he's won everything. So maybe his style works, but mm-mm. 2-0, game over, end the stream. Nico, done. Liverpool are old and tired. They look like shit. John says La Liga standards are so bad that it convinced Liverpool that they're back. La Liga this season are dead. But this is what I was saying about, you know, and I said this in my thing, and people were like, oh, you're just trying to gas up Liverpool. And I'm like, I'm not trying to gas up Liverpool by saying that they look better in the last 2 games. But I also was like super honest about the fact that I thought the teams played into their hands, you know? So, words, you're so shit. I'm sick. Y'all, it may be an end at halftime. I can't even lie to you. I can't even lie to you. Yeah. It may be if they score another one before that half is 3-0, it's bones. We're gonna have to just end the stream. But let's see. But yeah, I think people were saying that I was gassing them, and I'm like, I really wasn't. I think they did look better, but you have to take into account that Aston Villa and Real Madrid basically were terrible and played into their hands. And today, even if you're playing against City, you would expect Liverpool to perform better than what they have done today. And that's the thing. It's like if we were 2-0 down in the first half against City, nobody would be saying, yeah, but it's City. Like you're meant to be actually really like you haven't had a shot on goal for real. You haven't really mustered like a real true attack or anything. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. You would expect Liverpool to do better than this, but they haven't. They're in a top 4 scrap. Our draw yesterday was extra motivation for City, of course, because they always capitalize when you mess up. And that's the problem that we have is Liverpool is one of the better teams in the league. I don't, these Bournemouths and these guys, and when the second half of the season rolls around, they're not going to be taking points off of City. They're going to be basically writing those games off as free hits. But nobody writes off our games as free hits. That's our problem is we actually have to play against teams that believe they can take points off of us. So we have to keep the lead until the second half of the season. And we're going to have to be perfect in the second half of the season like we were in 23-24. We need to be leading and we're going to have to be perfect. So, because if Liverpool can't take points off of City, the only team that I actually think can, oddly enough, is Man United. Because they're the only team that won't take it as a free hit. Maybe Chelsea, But yeah, that was ass. Liverpool have reverted to default settings. I think it could come down to what Arsenal do at the Etihad this season. If we win, that could be the difference. Well, they're beating Liverpool at home, so we're going to have to beat Liverpool at home. Can we do that? Can we beat Liverpool at home? Hopefully, by the time we get there, they're destroyed enough where we can win that game. But remember the 23-24 season where they were the treble winners and we finished 2 points behind them. Our biggest issue was that we didn't have a lead going into the second half of the season and we were coming from behind. We had a bad December-ish period where we dropped points in 3 games in a row, needed Dubai, and then we were perfect, but except for the Aston Villa game. We're going to need to do that again. We're going to have to do that again, but we need to be ahead this time and we're going to have to be perfect because they just don't nobody's going to take points off of them in the second half of the season. They're not. Like we know how teams do. They'll either be dying to put out that stankin' ass tweet after the game saying, "Oh, good luck, City. We helped you take points off of Arsenal," or they're just gonna fold. Like, that's just how they are. Let's see. Amon says we could beat City. Yeah, we could. Are you guys panicking already? I mean, I think a lot of Arsenal fans have been panicked since this season basically started. I feel like there is an unrealistic expectation that we were just gonna waltz to the final like hurdle and there would be nobody else around us. If we're gonna win the league, we're not gonna get the benefit of being able to be by ourselves with nobody chasing us in the second half of the season. If we're gonna win it, we're gonna actually have to beat City to it. So I get it, but if we let drawing and them beating Liverpool shake you, then it is what it is. It is what it is, all dependent on Holland's hamstrings. I'm not panicked yet, but I wanted Liverpool chasing us, not City. I back us still, to be honest. I do too. It's Arsenal's year, guys. I have a feeling they will finally win the season. Can't believe some people are acting like they would rather be chased by City. I don't actually see anybody saying that. I told y'all we didn't need City chasing us, but there's nothing we can do to change that, Ash. I feel like we're so hyper focused on what everybody else is doing, and you guys are so traumatized by past title races, which I get it, valid, that you're so like hyper focused on if it's City, if it's Liverpool, Arsenal. If you had after the City game, if they had told you that we'd be 4 points ahead of anybody else in the title race in November, you would have bitten their hands off for it. It just if it's an actual title race where we're actually going after bar for bar with somebody else, we're not going to have an 8-point gap. We're just not going to. We've dropped points, they've dropped points. We've done well with injuries and players, and we've done well in multiple competitions as well. It's not like we're doing shit in the Champions League either. I just feel like this idea that it's going to be like this easy walk to the finish line is very unrealistic. We just need our players to return from injury. It's going to be a City Arsenal race. Hold on. You'll never win again. I mean, you're the ones who are getting blamed, not us. If Arsenal even draw the game at the Etihad, title is theirs. And big up Jess, big up to you as well. Let's see. We were coming for you, 4 points behind you. You start shaking, blah, blah, blah. Just do you think we beat Spurs and Chelsea? Their fans are hyping up because they believe they can damage our title hopes. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about is we know Spurs will bend over for City. The second time that they play them, they will bend over. Like, that's just what they're going to do. So, and again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people trying to help City to this title. So we just have to have it in our own hands. Of course we can beat Spurs and Chelsea. Of course we can. No one's going to help us. Like, we just have to be realistic about it. Yeah, that's all. We need to pray against Holland. Title hopes after 13 games is crazy. Didn't know you doing watchalongs. They asked for it, so I did it, but I don't usually do them. How the hell was that corner offside? Liverpool robbed. It's just a silly rule that they need to get rid of. Liverpool fans are shameless. They all became City fans after 45 minutes. Sad. I said yesterday's stream that City would destroy Liverpool today. I mean, it's not that hard to predict that City was going to win this game because they're at home and Liverpool rarely win at the Etihad. Nobody wins there. So it's not like anything has changed. Even if we had won yesterday, I don't think that City would have not won today. So again, I'm going to be real with Arsenal fans. Like, if you're going to be mostly focused about hoping that City drop points and panicking, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it because they're going to win lots of games. So I don't get it. We've only dropped points in 3 games this season so far. And we dropped points yesterday and Liverpool are getting stomped out by City. And now they're just, the next 2 weeks is going to be long. Like, it is what it is. Liverpool fans crying about refs. Well, yeah, that goal probably should have stood, but the rule to me is just very, let's look at it. They're showing it now. He's in an offside position, but the person that's actually blocking his eyesight is his own player. not not Robertson, but it is what it is. I keep telling our fans just take it game by game and back the team. I don't think they'll be able to do it. They're already dooming Spurs and Chelsea and all this, and I'm just like, okay, you know. What's this about the refs? What happened? That the disallowed goal that Liverpool scored on that corner, it was disallowed because Andy Robertson was standing in an offside position blocking, because you can be in an offside position, but you can't be interfering with play. And I think because Van Dijk actually headed the ball in that direction, that they were saying that he was interfering with play, but he didn't go for the ball. He just ducked. Like, it's one of those subjective things that the referees just sometimes, I just feel like it's very subjective. And if Robertson is there or not, I don't think the goalkeeper is getting it, but it is what it is. Let's see. AFC injuries are a concern because it seems like a revolving door. The players must stay fit for an extended period. Well, hopefully when we get back, we'll get more players back. It was offside. If he doesn't duck, the ball hits him. That's interfering to me. Oh, the Virgil van Dijk goal. I think that's fair, to be honest. A bit harsh, though. I keep telling our fans just take it a game by game, back the team. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what we expect, but for the title race to actually be a title race, and we're actually going to have to beat them. We're not. It's not going to just be walking to the final. And this is why it's so frustrating that we didn't do well in the market the previous summer, because we left ourselves in a position now where instead of going up against Liverpool for the title, we're going to have to go up against City. Last season really should have been our season, and now we made it harder on ourselves. So we just have to like buckle down. I genuinely don't think the fan base has it in them, though. I really don't. I really think that this draw and City winning is going to be what it's going to take for them to completely capitulate. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I don't know. That's a good conversation to have, though. What are your thoughts on the rapid injury we're facing now? The rapid injuries we're facing now. Let's see what happens after the break, because if we get some of our players back and they can stay fit, then fair enough. I think that we can't have the constant revolving door. Like, we need to get like I don't think the group that we had for the last 6 games, because basically we played like almost the same group of players for the last, like, let's say 6 out of the last 10 games we did, maybe going all the way up to 8. I can't go back and look, but basically since Odegaard got injured, we've been playing with the same back four, Calafiori, the 2 center backs, Raya and Timber, plus the double pivot, Rice and Zubimendi, plus Eze, Trossard, Gyökeres, and Saka. And then in the last game, it's been like Marino. That, that's been okay, but I do think that we haven't found the front 3 that really has clicked yet. And because the first couple of games we had Madueke, Gyökeres, and like Martinelli, and then it changed to Eze for a couple of games. So I think it could really help us to get a solid midfield that plays well together for like 5-6 games, and then a solid front line that plays together for 5-6 games, and it be a better group of players. I don't know. But I don't know why we're getting the injuries, and I can't really speculate because I'm not on the training pitch. I don't know, but we just need to get players back, and if we do, we'll probably be in a good position. We're in a really, really good position considering all of the injuries that we've had, integrating new players and not really being at our best so far. So I don't know. Not going to lie, I'm still angry with the WSL game. I pray Chelsea gets what's coming to them. That was actually a worse result than the result that we got against Sunderland, the men. I'm sorry, but City don't scare me like that. This take might not age well, but I think we pick up more points than them after the international break. Listen, I think we need to just relax for a second. It just feels like 1 minute we think the team is so good, but then the minute that we drop points, it's the team, we can't, da da da. It's like, and this is why I don't like when people do all the talking because I'm like, you don't actually believe that though. You don't actually believe that though. Like when I said that this was our year, I meant it. I would have never said it if I didn't mean it. This is the most prepared we've been to win a major trophy this season, but I never thought for a second that it was gonna be easy, and I don't think it's gonna be a runaway thing either. I definitely think we're gonna actually have to beat them to the title, so we're gonna have to be damn near perfect, in that second half of the season for sure. Do you think the injuries, it to do with the staffing, every time we sign someone with 0 injury history, they come here and suddenly become injury prone? It can't just be down to playing in the Prem. I don't honestly, I don't know. Um, it could just be playing lots of minutes. It could be the change of pace and physicality in the league. It could be how we're training. I really don't know. But I think it's just key to just get some more players back fit. I think we've been really unlucky to have so many forwards out at the same time. And where we've been able to like maybe have Mascara and Hincapié play some games and White play some games, we really haven't had that for the front line except for playing against Brighton. So we just have not had the staffing in the front line. So let's see, because it could just be the case that it's just a period where we went through some bad injuries and maybe it clears up, you know? Iniesta says we need to have some luck with injuries. The whiplash I've gotten from reactions is insane. How are people already cracking? Did y'all think we'd go invincible? I just think that it's not a title race if we're like 8, 9, 10 points ahead. And so what you guys want is for both City and Liverpool to fall away and for us to have like a clear run like Liverpool had in the second half of the season. I would take that. I would take that. But the reality is we're probably not going to get that. And if it is a title race, that means that it'll probably be like 2 or 3 points between us if it actually really goes all the way down to the final days. So if you're already shooting bricks now because there'll be 4 points between us in November, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. You might as well pack it up. You might as well pack it up, genuinely, because if it's a title race, like actually between multiple people, it's could be heartbreaking, because it'll be just a couple points between us. So we need to kind of lock in. Now, I don't think we've even fully clicked yet. I think we have the potential to have a second half of the season like we did in 23-24, because this reminds me so much of that season. The biggest difference maker will be if we can make sure that we don't have some weird collapse between now and the second half of the season. In 23-24, we had a 3-game period where we kind of let ourselves down because we were doing so well. We weren't even playing well in the first half of 23-24, if you guys remember, but we were picking up points and winning games. But went through a 3-game period where we lost to like Fulham and some other teams, and we had like a collapse, and then we had to do Dubai, and then we were damn near perfect in the second half of the season and finished 2 points behind City. We took it all the way to the final day. If we don't need a Dubai and we can just like just keep our wits about us, we'll go all the way, all the way. It's just that simple. But if we actually have to go up against City, you guys know it's going to be a couple points between us. We need to be realistic about that. We need to be realistic. Hello, everyone. Hello to you. But there's so much PTSD, which is hard for me to ignore. Of course, like I'm not even saying that like the PTSD is not valid. I'm just saying that like you're just not going to make it though. You're going to literally like if you can't separate what happened in the past from what's happening right now and live in the moment, you're going to make yourself sick, genuinely. And this is coming from somebody that like in the beginning of this season was comparing every single game to like when we were losing against Newcastle, I was quite literally having a crash out. I was like, it's happening again, fuck. And then we won. So yeah. When will you do a collab with Laura? Laura went to like Barcelona or something when we were gonna do it last month. So we'll probably do something this month. Hopefully I can get Laura on. She's super famous now and I'm super happy for her. She's so built for this world. Like she's so built for the football content. She's naturally like the funniest person ever. So hopefully I'll be able to get her on and we can chit chat about some of the the funny stuff that's been happening in the season so far. Um, I am not cool with City just 3 points behind us. We should have won yesterday. They won't be 3 points, they'll be 4 points. Notice how City have all their players back bar Rodri, and all of a sudden they look better. We'll also go up gears when we get our players back. I mean, Shamaria literally sometimes 1 plus 1 just does equal 2, and we're forgetting that we went into the last game with our 4th best striker, players basically on their last leg, like, but go, you idiots. No. No, you guys are idiots. Yeah, they're not gonna score. That's a great tackle by Van Dijk. But yeah, 1 plus 1 does equal 2, and I do think we'll get better after the break. We just haven't had like a good solid like group of like 6 or 7 attackers that we can pull from to give us something different than what we've had. They need to take Wirtz out. He's stinking up the place. He smells like shit. Get him out. He's so shit. Like the way he's just so passive on the damn ball gives me the ick. Like, come on. Can you like fix up? Okay, Doku's just gonna dribble straight through them. That should have been 3-0 right there. Hi Jess. I'm not really worried about City because their over-reliance on Haaland won't last for long. So this is their fair result for me if City do win. Yeah, I think we just need to focus on ourselves and not doom ourselves before we need to. I don't really care about Liverpool City game. We must concentrate on ourselves. Divide the league games in 4 places. 3 times 10 games and 8 games for the 4th half. Can we top the league table for the next 10 games? No, I agree with that, and I think we just need to take it a little bit at a time. And like I said before, I think it's paramount that we're top of the table with a couple points to spare in the second half of the season, and that our players get healthy and we can go on a run like we did in 23, 24. That's what we're gonna need, is to basically just be like a machine. And we also have to remember that we have other competitions that we wanna do well in too. So, um, you know, it's gonna be a lot. Um, let's see. Antonin says Wirtz is so evitable. You mean inevitable? I mean, is he gonna score a goal or something? I would love that. Domingo says, "You can tell Wirtz is super low on confidence, kinda sad. Kinda he was cracking player in Leverkusen, obviously good for us." I mean, he's pissing me off. It's done. We're not winning this league. That's super pessimistic in November. I have been impressed with um, the way we go behind, even with players being out. I've been impressed with the way we respond when we go behind, even with players being out. I think that's something that hasn't really been spoken about. Look at Ruben Diaz, flopping asshole. Um, But yeah, I think that that's something that went under the radar yesterday because we didn't get all 3 points, but the 2 games that we went behind, or the 3 games that we went behind in, we came back and got something, which is something that we would not do last season. Going on like a 5-game win streak is something that we didn't do last season. Winning when we didn't have our best 11 out there was something that we weren't doing last season. So there's a lot of positive to take from these first 10 games that I feel like is pretty much being just thrown in the trash because City are winning games and we dropped 2 points, but what do I know? Probably long term because we haven't said anything about Martinelli. I was going to ask you about this as well. Does anyone know what happened to Martinelli? I think he had a muscle injury, but he should be back for the North London Derby with Gyökeres. And that's what we need. We need like players like Martinelli. That would have been super useful to have yesterday. Somebody that we could kick the ball to, and somebody that could run around and maybe get a goal on the counter. We just didn't have very many options yesterday. And I know people are like, just play Ethan and Max, but like, let's be so fucking for real right now. Nelly should be back after the break. Out of topic, but is Trossard our most clutch player? Feel like he's always pops up something in crucial moment. Yeah, he's Salah, what the fuck was that, dude? This is an actual stinker from Salah. He should actually be ashamed. That was horrendous from him, so lazy. That was good goalkeeping from Donnarumma. But yeah, I think Trossard is our most clutch player, and I think he deserves a lot more respect from the fan base. There's just like this, yeah, but I don't like to see him starting. I'm like, You know what? Usually, if he's starting, it's because somebody else is playing like shit, and has been for multiple games. So we have to switch it up, or somebody's injured. So it's not like Arteta's just choosing him over like a world class left wing. It's just a situation that we're in. And I think people place this misplaced frustration on Trossard. He's been one of the best squad players we've ever bought. And people act like he's a scrub just because he's not starting level all the time. And he's been our best attacker this season. He has been. So, um, oh God. Yeah, he's been our best attacker this season. He's been better than Saka to me. He's been better than Madueke to me. He's been better than Eze to me. And people still treat him like he's a piece of shit. And I don't really get it. How ironic that Hussam is dying to score from a set piece now that they are outclassed. He can hold that. Liverpool are getting dominated. It's not even funny. They are being dominated. It's dark. Aman says Trossard is definitely underrated by our fans. Yeah, and he's one of the only players that I feel like can actually pop up with a goal from a moment of brilliance. Like, we don't have a lot of players that I feel like consistently can come up with just an individual moment of brilliance, just a great strike from somewhere, or a goal where he beats his man and just kicks it in the back of the net. He does that quite often for us, and I feel like it's so underrated because we heavily, you know, focus on team stuff and team goals, and sometimes you just need somebody that's just going to slap it into the back of the net. And he did that yesterday when we definitely needed it. If he doesn't do that, we ain't scoring, because those boys do not shoot. They don't back themselves. They can't lock their ankle when they need to take a shot. But Trossard, he consistently has done that. I've loved Trossard since the first moment we got him. Like, and I saw him, I think he played against like Fulham for us. And that Fulham game is still one of my favorite games that we've played under Mikel Arteta. 3-0. It was beautiful. I loved it, and he was a big part of it. Um, it's not his fault that Martinelli had 2 bad seasons, so he had to play more, or people were injured. That's not on him. That's why I don't really blame Marino either for his performance yesterday. You know, um, he is what he is. Yeah, Shirky off. Trossard deserved man of the match award for his performance yesterday. I think he was our best performer yesterday for sure. I didn't really see anybody else have a good game like he did. Yeah, Doku's killing them. And I know it's a little bit different, but I will be kind of happy when Madueke comes back, because you see what Doku has given them. It's not the same, because obviously Madueke and Doku are not the same level, but sometimes you just need somebody that just scares fullbacks, and I feel like we're missing that just a little bit. That likes to take on their man and can get into the final third. I think we're missing that a little bit. Let's see. I think only Pep could imagine or manage Shirky and keep him reasonably motivated. Everyone else, he fucks this off now. Lemon says 4 points difference in 2 upcoming London derbies. I am rattled. I mean, you either believe in the team or you don't. That's really all I have to say about that. We're playing Spurs at home in a North London derby. We should feel reasonably confident that we're going to beat them. So, especially with players coming back. I know that 4 points is like not a huge gap, but like at the same time, like how big of a gap do you guys actually think we're going to have for the whole season? And it actually be a title race. You guys are asking for City not to just fall off. They're not going to fall off 2 seasons in a row. So, yeah, Madueke coming back will be a boost. I agree. I'm happy our players coming back, real quality players. Agreed. We need something different. That was a foul. Yeah, Doku is doing really well. He's eating them up. He's eating them up. He's eating them up. Oh, this is a good question. North London Derby. Let's say North London Derby. Let's say, who's your wing pairing for the North London Derby? If Madueke, Martinelli, Odegaard, and Gyökeres are back. Actually, who is your front like four if for the North London Derby? If actually, if everyone's back, let's say Madueke's back, Kai's back, Odegaard's back, and Gyökeres and Martinelli are back. Who is your number 10 and who is your front three? Because that could be the situation that we're in, and I'm hoping that's the situation that we're in. Who would you put in there? Did I hear that Thierry chats to Doku? Probably, I would imagine so, because he was the Belgian assistant coach. So I would imagine that. Trossard, Cooking, Pedro Porro still living rent-free in my head. Even if they're back, they're not all 100%. Eze, Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres. Imagine if next season we get Vinny Jr. instead of Rodrigo. I don't really want Vinny Jr. at Arsenal. I really don't want the distraction. I don't think it's worth it. Trossard deserves his place, but our best team has Eze and Odegaard. I think if Odegaard is fit in any way, shape, or form, he'll play. But, you know, I would go straight back to Gyökeres for sure. Kai would definitely, be somebody on the bench. Hopefully, if he's not on the bench, just like a game or two away from being able to play. Saka, Gyökeres, Eze, and Odegaard would be my front four. City seems to be getting to their peak and less likely to drop points going forward. Let us take care of our matches with a W. We need to play our strongest attack, in my opinion. Now we need City to drop points. I mean, we kind of just need to win our games. If we're 4 points ahead of Man City, then we just need to keep winning our games. Like, we're too focused on them dropping points so that we can have a buffer because you guys don't believe in the team. If we're 4 points ahead, we just kind of need to keep winning our games. I agree with that front four if it's 100% fit. Yeah, that's the problem, is maybe they're not 100% fit, but like it all depends. Like maybe they come back this next week and then they have a full week of like training and shit. But like Gyökeres hasn't been out that long. So I would imagine that like him and Martinelli haven't been out long enough to lose all their fitness. So they're probably would be super available. Odegaard probably take a little bit longer, but the only way that they're going to get fit is playing. Gakpo's huge fucking head. What an idiot. What a dumbass. That's a great cross from Bradley. Doesn't like, are you okay? Gyökeres will be fine. Gyökeres needed a rest. 4 points ahead of City is nothing, especially in the second half of the season. They will come alive. It's not about it being this big gap. It's the fact that we have a gap is something that we should utilize. That's the problem, is that's actually what's coming to light now with Arsenal fans, is that they don't back themselves to have to go into a title race that's actually a title race. If you're like 8, 9 points ahead of somebody, it's not really a title race. You're kind of running away with it. And I get that that's what you guys would prefer, but City, we're never going to be terrible 2 seasons in a row. So you have to anticipate that they're going to close that gap. And you guys are shaking already. Your knees are buckling already. 4 points is nothing. 4 points is nothing. It's not nothing. It's a lead. 4 points ahead of City when they're not playing badly and we've dropped points and we've had injuries is actually really a good thing. But you guys don't view it as a good thing because you actually just want a season where they just fall away and we're by ourselves and nobody else actually is playing good. If you're going to win the league, you have to go, and it's an actual title race, you're going to have to beat good teams to the league title. You're going to have to, you might as well just say you don't think we're going to win the league. Because I think that's what a lot of y'all just want to say, and that's fine. But just be honest. Like, you don't think we'll win it. You think that City need to fully be shit and Liverpool need to fully be shit and fall away in the first half of the season, and we need to be like 10 points ahead so that we could just run away with it. Fair enough, but we're not gonna get that. Title race hasn't really begun. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I appreciate that comment. Because you're absolutely correct. It's the fact that people's knees are buckling already because we have a gap, but it's only 4 points. Y'all are not going to make it because when we get into the festive period and we drop points or they drop points or whatever, it's going to be like super, super close. City's not the type of team that have 2 bad seasons in a row. So I don't know what y'all was thinking. When I said that City were a bigger threat than Liverpool were for the title, a lot of you guys laughed at me, but they were clearly doing that thing where they're slow at the beginning. They don't look perfect, but they don't have to be because they know that they'll go into the second half of the season. Most teams will fold against them and they'll win most of their games. So you kind of have to have a lead in the first half of the season, like basically take advantage of their not being good in the first half of the season, get a gap, and then you also are going to have to be perfect in the second half of the season. That's just what it is. Take it one game at a time. Agree. Bring the title race on, man. We're the best team in the league. Well, a lot of people were saying that, but now they're shitting bricks. I think if we win it, it's going to be within a couple points. Like, it's going to be super fucking close. So buckle up. The PTSD is real, but we've taken City to the wire before. Exactly. The second time that we did the title race against them, we were 2 points behind them. 2 points behind them. So that's all I'm saying. Ooh, great goal. He deserved that. That was honestly like a really, really good goal. Poof. And he deserved that because he's been their best player. Yeah, Liverpool have been comprehensively beat. They've gotten beat down. And this is kind of what we need our players to kind of get into form now. Which I'm hoping after the break they do. But, I mean, look at Liverpool. What are they doing? They look horrendous. Whew. That was really good. Hello. 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 Puppy. Okay. Yes, you are. Yo-Yo showed up against Arsenal and Liverpool. I don't know. I feel like I don't think he was all that against us, I'll be real, but it was what it was. Wait, we already played City this season. I literally forgot. We're good. At least 4-0, could be 5-0. It could be 5-0. Now we must beat Liverpool 7-0 at home. You start too shaky. You start too sacky. Doku has electricity today. And Wallahi Slot low-key wants City to win the league because what is this? I mean, just be prepared. Pretty much everybody is going to fold up against City to help them win. All of their games will be free hits from now on. And people are going to be playing us like the rent is due. Just know. Nobody wants to see us win the league. No one's going to help us. Trust. The only team that I think we can trust to probably take some points off of City or at least try is Man United. That's it. Because they believe in themselves. They're arrogant. And they definitely do not want City to win. So, yeah. But Liverpool... Yeah. And of course, Liverpool fans are going to be cheering for City. They're City pool. And I'll be real. There's nothing more weird than having some sort of bromance with a team that's been whooping your ass for years. We should beat Tottenham at home. City go to Newcastle. I sense a draw back to 6 points. Newcastle are at the bottom of the table. I think, let's look. Like Newcastle are genuinely terrible this year. They're doing well in Champions League, but they actually lost to Brentford today 3-0, but they did get the red card, but that was later in the game. They've genuinely been terrible this season. Now going to St. James is not easy and it'll be after the break, so maybe they'll be a little bit better, but maybe they'll drop points there. I don't know, but it's looking dark for Newcastle, I can't lie. They lost to Brentford and they lost to West Ham. And I swear they're sitting somewhere by the bottom of the table. Yeah, they're in like 14th. But Newcastle don't win any games away from home. That's what it is. I think Newcastle can get something. Newcastle will fold within 5 minutes for City. Heck, Joe Linton and Bruno might be injured. Agreed, Newcastle could do something. But at the same time, like, if we just win our game, then we don't have to worry about what they're doing. I feel like that's the key is, like, we're going into this next part of the season with a 4-point gap. So we need to just win our games. I feel like that's the most important. We're not in the phase, like, of course we would prefer them to drop points, but we're not, if we don't drop points, then we don't have to worry about it. We're way too focused on them. 2004 title win, Arsenal were kind of popular for neutrals, kinda. Anyone could do something. They just lost to Villa for fuck's sake. Wirtz looks every bit off 22. Bundesliga tax is heavy. Newcastle are 14. City has winnable games in December except going to Palace. This will be Liverpool's 5th loss and like 7th overall. Agree Newcastle could do something. Arsenal fans love to panic. It was never going to be a one-horse race. Yeah, and I think that's what the media wanted to do, was to pretend like the title was over in October. So if City come up behind us, that they can say that we bottled it, but the title race is never done in October. It never would have been. And if the roles were reversed, they would have never done that. So let's just relax for 2 seconds. It's not, of course, it's not comfortable, but title races are not comfortable. They're just not comfortable. They're not comfortable. Well, Liverpool have gotten whacked. I mean, this is comprehensive. I don't remember them having any opportunity except for the Gakpo chance. Wirtz, is he still out there? He's been awful. It's dark. They don't look good. But again, the Aston Villa game, it was like, Emery, what the fuck? You just kind of gave them the points because they could be way lower. And Real Madrid were awful. You know? I just don't understand why no one wants us to win. Have you checked Twitter? Official sports accounts getting community noted for lying about Arsenal and then deleting it all the time. Nobody wants us to win it. In fact, like, City's the perfect neutral because nobody really cares about City. You know, nobody's really, like, their biggest rivals are like Man United, kind of, you know. So, and the people that have been going against them for the title for the last 8 years bend over for them all the time and talk about City Pool. So yeah, I kind of think that, but everybody hates us. Like, we're everybody's biggest up. We're like, Man United hate us, Chelsea hate us, Spurs hate us. All of a sudden, everyone does. So nobody wants us to win. Trust and believe. Isak ain't fit, is he? I don't know. I don't think he is, but who cares? I don't feel bad for him. I'm sorry. You'd think some of these fans would have gotten used to pressure, having been involved in 2 title races under Mikel. Yeah, I agree. This is going to be our 3rd title race, and I genuinely think people got way too comfortable. I still think it's our year, and like I keep saying, this is the most prepared we've ever been for a title race. And this is the best that I think that we've performed in the first part of a season in a title race, if that makes sense. Like, except for 22-23, but we just collapsed in the second half. So, yeah, I just think we need to just remember that a title race is not going to be like a walk in the park. And I don't know why it's like, oh, we're just going to walk to the end. Like, we're not. City are away to Fulham, home to Sunderland, and those aren't easy as well. Then away at Palace, it's not super easy. I need that Kara meltdown. That mad Isak's still on the bench. That's mad. Isak is still on the bench. City are getting close to our number of titles. Very worrying. Hussam must be losing his mind. The Liverpool fans love City is the weirdest thing in football. It's the most anti-football thing I've ever seen. Having like some sort of bromance with somebody that's been whooping your ass for years is just nonsense to me. But yeah, Sunderland will open legs. They'll be totally different than they were against us. That was their cup final. That's their cup final. Like, trust and believe. We can't trust Bournemouth either. They're falling apart. I'm telling you, the only team that I trust to put in a good performance against City randomly is United, because they have to go to Old Trafford, and they're feeling themselves. So, and they get up for big games. They're the only ones I trust to know that they're going to give their 110%. That's the only ones I trust. I don't trust nobody else, and that's why I need us to do what we need to do. Soboslai, another one that's pretty horrible to have as a key player. I saw people saying he was the best player in the league just a couple of days ago, and I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was like, you played against a dead fucking Aston Villa side. Shut the fuck up. Best in the league? Calm down. Shit. Salah can't dribble no more. Looks sad. No, I don't trust Spurs because they didn't know what they didn't know what they didn't know in the first game of the season or whatever when they played against City. When it comes back around, if it's us two in the title race, they'll bust cheeks. Like, they're not going to. The way that Son did what he did against Ange, you just know that they're going to do the little, we have to just give this game away. Like, they're not going to do anything. This is the deepest squad I've seen Arsenal have. Highbury bench had randoms like Segan and Lujani and Aldiadir and Jeffers. Chelsea will beat City, and Spurs might or might not hit up City. I don't think they will. Once they realize that the title race is between us two, they'll bust cheeks. We, as a fan base, need to shut out the noise, toughen up, and enjoy the ride. This has shown me all that I need to know. It's going to be a long, long season. This title race is going to be a long season because I just don't think that we have the ability to like ride it out. I just don't. And I get that we have PTSD, but genuinely, it's going to be a real title race. It's not going to be like some where they've collapsed. To be fair, Thomas Franks loves us. He might just do something. Deep squad, but all of them motherfuckers are injured. They're coming back. Newcastle versus Man City, very interesting. So we shall see. We shall see. But if we beat Spurs, then it won't matter if they beat Newcastle or not. And that's the most important thing. Didn't Arteta come out and say we've already lost our depth in attack due to all the injuries? Yeah, but again, it's been reported Martinelli and Gyökeres back after the break. So, we're going to have people back. Then Odegaard and Kai Havertz and them are coming back. Like, Soboslai, best in the league, eh? Look at them just running through your midfield. Jess, thanks for the consistent content. Your style and voice is unique and grounded in the world of loud, clickbaity Arsenal online media. Listen, I'll be honest with you. If we going through a bad run, I'm not going to be a happy girl, but I don't say stuff just for the sake of clicks or nothing like that. You guys know I'm not really doing clicks. If I wanted to do it, you guys would know. But I feel good about us this season, despite dropping points. But I had already built it up in my mind that I knew we'd drop points and the gap would get closed a little bit. But I still think this team is going to do something big this season. Why would I change my mind just because of 24 hours? It's crazy. Jess, would you get Semenyo next summer? Sell Trossard possibly. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I feel like that's just a long way away. And Semenyo was having a really good like start to the season. And now Bournemouth are falling away. So let's just see how he performs for the rest of the season. But I do like what I've seen at the beginning of the season. But I also like what Trossard's done this season. Oh my days, Liverpool have had 0 shots on target. They look horrible. Unsuccessful hate along, I know. I'd love to see you on DR with Robbie, Abby, and the gang. Yeah, I mean, I like doing the loose cannons thing. I think that's really fun. The show I'd really love to do. I know I'd never get to do it, but I actually love the Big Six. I would love to be on there. That looks like so much fun. Um, that show looks so cool. But I would never get to go on it because Turkish is always there. I'd love to be on there. I put that draw on Xhaka. I can tell that he hyped them up. It was ridiculous. That's the thing, is nobody's hyping themselves to beat City, but they're always hyping themselves to beat us. So the second half of the season, this next little run is going to be tough because I can already see people bending over. Rodrigo is the only left winger Arsenal need. Much better to be on the Big Six. And you're the best Arsenal content creator on YouTube with Arsenal Vision. Love to see you on there in the Big Six. I haven't been on Arsenal Vision in years, but yeah, the Big Six would be cool. If Turkish ever doesn't get to be on, I would love to be on there. Like, that would be so fun. But I love going on Footy Judge Mo. I mean, I'm probably not going to love it this week because they're going to be, oh, you're losing the title, the big blue shark, blah, 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 blah. But I love going on there. It's fun and it's a good time. And I feel like sometimes football, like, we have to remember that we're watching, 22 guys kick a piece of plastic across some grass, and to a certain extent, fandom is meant to be fun. And I think that's what the Big Six gets right, is they have their heated moments and it gets serious, but also there's a lot of banter and fun. And it's not just like super clickbait and like super like, there's a lot of channels that do like some of the worst forced banter I've ever seen, but it's natural and I like it. That show is really funny. If you can get somebody to watch a full 2 hours of them just talking, it's a good show. You would be good on the Big Six. It's because City are somewhat irrelevant despite being good. I agree. I'd love to see you with Steve. Oh my gosh, he's just so jarring. But he's jarring because he can just sit there with the trophies and be like, well, what have you got? That's the worst thing about being an Arsenal fan, is that we just don't have the ability to have enough chess because we haven't won. We need to win something so we can actually have chest. Villa twice in 1 month sucks, Emery not leaving without at least 1 point. We need to just focus on one game at a time. We haven't even played Spurs yet, so I'm not even trying to think about Villa yet. We could go and beat Villa and it may not even be a big deal, so let's not doom it yet. Are you confident we beat Spurs next game? I mean, we always beat them, but I mean, I think we have a good chance of beating them. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't beat them. I don't see why, like, what the Sunderland game has anything to do with us turning around and beating Tottenham at home. So, yeah, I think we are going to beat them. I'm not going to let the Sunderland game make me think that we're just going to start losing all these games all of a sudden. I think like our fan base is just way too rattled right now for me. Talk to Turkish. Yeah, I know, but like, it's his show and like he's also the host, so I don't know, but maybe one day. Goal. Salah missed a goal. He missed a goal. He could have gotten one back. It's just not. They're just getting too lucky now. Hussam will get more stick than you this week on Judge Mo. I hope so. Hussam doesn't really accept the heat though. Always got an excuse. You get me? I think sometimes it's easier just to accept the banter and not always have something to say back or like an excuse, because it always catches you up later, because then you eventually use one of those. You usually get caught up because then your rival's in that situation and then you try to use it against them. But it's like, yeah, but when you were doing it, you were okay with it, So I think Liverpool fans just need to accept the banter this week because you've been comprehensively whooped. Like, it just is what it is. You've lost a shit ton of games this season. It's bones. Like, you're not going to win the league. You're not going to win the Champions League. It's okay. Just like I'm going to accept the banter. I was not confident that we would win, but I was like, I expect us to win. And we didn't. you know, so I'm just gonna have to sit there and hold corn. I hate when draws feel like losses though. It's like, damn, we gained a point, but it just definitely feels like we dropped all of them. Definitely for sure. 8 games to play in December. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, festive period. Festive period coming. Festive period coming. Let me look actually. I don't even need to look at this game anymore. I'm literally about to close that shit. I'm about to close that shit. They have more goals than us. This is what I'm saying. I mean, like, we don't always have to have the most goals, but they've conceded 8 goals. We've conceded 5, but they've scored 3 more than us. So it evens itself out. We should have the same goal difference. 15. It's really kind of even though they've lost 2 more games than us. It's just, yeah, we need to start scoring more goals. Because if our defense goes through a period where they're not keeping a whole bunch of clean sheets, our attack needs to be much better than what it is right now. And I just don't trust our forwards to put the ball in the back of the net. They seem a little toothless at the minute. I know that Saka and Trossard scored, but you get what I mean. Okay, let's go and look. What are you barking about? Benz, come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Yeah, 8 games. And we play Brentford at home, Aston Villa away, Club Brugge away, Wolves at home, Everton away, Crystal Palace at home in the cup, Brighton at home, and Aston Villa at home. December's not that bad. I'm going to keep it a buck. I think November is actually the harder one because we have to get through that kind of like week of death. If we can get through that week of death against Tottenham and Chelsea and Bayern, then December is really not that bad. Home against Brentford, we should be winning. We can go and scam a win at Villa. We know we can. Club Brugge away, we should be winning that. Home against Wolves, they're terrible. Away against Everton, I know it's a tough ground and we've been there and it's not the real Goodison, but we should really be beating them. Home against Crystal Palace in the cup. Home against Brighton. Like home against Villa. It's not easy, but it's not as bad as they're making out to seem. We just need to make it through that week. We need to make it through November, those 3 games. You know, we just need one more starting player attacker available yesterday. City are better on the ball than us, but Arsenal are better without it. City have improved defensively, and Arsenal require players to recover to improve offensively. I agree with that. I think the biggest question with us is, are we going to be inevitable to score the amount of goals without the set pieces with the forwards? And right now, our forwards just aren't scoring like enough for me. I know we're sharing the goals, and it's like, well, would you rather have one player? I'm like, I don't want just one player scoring or all players scoring. I want it all. I want the set pieces. I want team goals and sharing it, but I also want somebody to hit a hot streak. You know, we didn't buy Eze and Gyökeres to just keep sharing the goals. Maybe they did, but my thing with those two was that they were meant to come in and make goal scoring easier. And so far, I don't think they've necessarily done that, but that doesn't mean that they can't. Jess, what do you think about the love Granit Xhaka gets from our fans? Personally, I think he had one good season. Strange how he gets treated like a hero. I think it's strange how the media all of a sudden loves Granit Xhaka doing Granit Xhaka things, but they lambasted him when he was at Arsenal getting red cards and doing stupid shit. It's funny that, but Granit, I don't know. I think Arsenal fans love, they love him, and that's fine. He's not somebody that I have like a deep affection for because I think he was largely very frustrating for like the whole time, except for one season. But if you like it, I love it. He wasn't my favorite player. He's not somebody that I spend a lot of time thinking like, oh, we just should have kept him. We should have just kept him. We should have just kept him. So yeah, it's like whatever. I don't know. I feel like Arsenal fans love having players that they have to convince people are good. I don't know. Not that I don't think Granit Xhaka is good. I think he's like in the top probably 5% of midfielders in the world, somewhere at the bottom of that. So he's like deceptively way better than probably what people think. But he was just so frustrating in them first like 6 years that I'm like, whatever, dog. Like, I'm okay that you're gone. Like, it's cool. Us and Man United bought each other's first choice striker. Speak on it. Beat Tottenham and Chelsea, draw 0-0 with Bayern, and I'm happy. Just take it one game at a time. Liverpool are done. City kicking into gear. Chiesa coming to save the day. That's why I've been saying 7 wins and a draw before the new year. Arsenal fans love seeking approval from rival fans about their players. Same thing some people do about Gyökeres. Take out Erling Haaland from Man City, and then we'll see there in terms of winning. Being at the top, we have 6, 7 attackers out, but still get results barring last night. I mean, we just need to, like, Soboslai, it's been awful. Let's just take it one game at a time. It's not like we clicked into gear and we had a good 10 games or so, and now they're clicking into gear. We just have to make sure that we stay in gear. Like, I don't get the panic, really. Let's see. Am I the only one who is not afraid of these two teams? I mean, I get it. I get the city PTSD. I totally do. I just think it's more about who we are. They could be good, but if we're good as well, then we should feel confident that we can win the league. Arsenal fans, I read that. Last night was a result in syntax. For me, or in context. Last night was a result in context. I mean, we still got a result in a game where we didn't play well. And like I was saying before, and it was mentioned by one of you guys as well, that it's gone under the radar because we didn't win. But if we had went behind last season, our asses was losing that bitch. Like, we were losing all types of games when we went behind. Like, it was like there was no way we were going to score. And we've come back in the 3 games that we've went down, except for the Liverpool game. We've come back, and gotten a result. We should have won yesterday. Yesterday was a slip up. Like, it really was. Like, we really should have won that game. But I'm happy that I know that, if we concede first, that doesn't mean that the game is over. Because last season, that was our reality. If we conceded, that game was over. So I'm glad that we have that. For me at this stage, the Premier League games are more important. That Bayern game will be tough. Even if we lose it, we should still be able to go through on a top 8 spot. Yeah, if there's a game that we need to maybe not take less seriously, but, we could afford to just kind of draw or, drop points in or whatever, it would definitely be the Bayern game. We need to win both of the Premier League games. Slot has been found out this season. I think City will drop points at Newcastle after international break. I don't fear anybody anymore in the EPL, probably PTSD. Jess Isak doesn't get half of the heat Gyökeres does, considering he threw a way bigger tantrum than Gyökeres ever did. It's just tax. Like, it's Arsenal tax. It's Arsenal tax. It's just nonsense, so, but Isak was a dick to Newcastle. Newcastle didn't do shit to him. And, so I don't feel sorry for him at all. Gyökeres is an Arsenal player, though. Like, if we had Sesko and Sesko wasn't performing, he wasn't perfect, like, he was going to get shat on. It's just Arsenal tax, like, period. Arsenal won like 10 in a row for the first time under Arteta, 1 draw, and there are fans who want to jump ship. I was saying this on Deluded's channel, and he agreed as well that when we dropped points, it was going to be like, feel like the ground was shaking, like, because we don't, as a fan base, I really don't think we have the kind of, like, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, we don't have the backbone for a true title race. If in order for us to feel good, we would have to have like a 10-point gap. And the only way we would really get that realistically is if the other teams fell off. But the idea that we're 4 points ahead and people are already throwing in the towel because they're dooming the Villa game and the Spurs game and the Chelsea game, it's like, y'all never really believed that we could win it. And you also don't you don't really want to do a title race. You don't, because the title races be close. Title races be like you have like 3 points max between y'all. It's gonna be tight. All the title races that really went down between City and Liverpool were real tight. City don't really drop any points. And they have a really big equalizer in Holland. So we have to be serious, for one, like we're actually gonna have to keep that lead. We don't have the cojones. People want a free pass to the title. And then we'll sit there and say that, Liverpool's titles have asterisks over it because they won without any sort of like, with everybody falling off. Starting in December to January, everyone healthy, I fancy our chances. I have a feeling City in the League Cup semis after we get past Palace. We have the squad to see through the upcoming games. Also, imagine if we got Isak like all of the standard merchants wanted, he would have broke down game week 2 for us and our title race would have been all over. I just feel like it's important to focus on what we have, and of course, like I do content and look at other people. So sometimes I do have to talk about other teams and talk about what they have and be honest and be, add context and all that kind of stuff. But as like a standard, everybody else can fuck off. Like I really only care about Arsenal and what we got. And once we got Gyökeres, my full focus was like, is Gyökeres doing good? What is Gyökeres doing positively? Like, and people were still on their knees for Isak. And I'm like, y'all gonna have to let that go. You guys genuinely have to let go of players that didn't even see it for you. They didn't even want you for real. Like Isak never for a moment acted like he wanted to come to Arsenal. He actually acted like he hated us down. Like, so I don't know. Why do you guys get like stop being on your knees for players that never really even wanted you for real? Like pathetic. Do we have another football to watch today? Any other football to watch today? I'm gonna watch the NWSL semi quarterfinal. Actually, I'm about to turn that shit on right now. I should have turned it on before. Now that you remind me, I don't know what other football is on today because my goal was just to. Oh, great! It's still 0-0, so I didn't miss anything. But that was all I was gonna do. I'm sure Barcelona play at noon, but like, do you really want to watch them right now? I don't know. Let's see. Everybody's played, right? This is the last game of the week. Yeah. And then let's look La Liga. Let's see La Liga. Yeah, Barcelona play at 12 or at 8 your guys this time. So if y'all want to watch that. Serie A. Hello. I'm almost done. Yeah, they whooped their ass. They busted them down. Like that was like not even really a contest. I remember when we used to get like turned over by them like that, but it was even worse because we would have like really bad like defensive mistakes. So yeah, it's dark, but yeah. Final thoughts? Yeah, other leagues are kind of ass. The media narrative will be more about us than Liverpool holding 3 to City. Just watch, of course. But we have to every single time that we drop points, they're gonna doom us. Like they do. Like, do you guys realize that they said that our title hopes were over had we had lost to Newcastle in September? They're gonna doom us the whole season. It's gonna be about City are the favorites. We know City are gonna catch you guys. We just have to actually like buckle down and realize that we're about to be in a real title race and it's not going to be like we're just running away with it. So if they get within 1 point, if they are within 3 points, like we have to relax. We have to calm down. The media does not like us. Nobody wants us to win. And we get the most clicks because our fans are the most rattled, so we just have to relax. We're so doomed going 10 games undefeated. They were doing season conclusions after losing to Liverpool. Exactly. 4 points ahead going into the break is not bad, especially with the injuries we've had. City won, Liverpool 3 no, sorry. City won, Liverpool 3-0, and people say harder fixtures are coming. I might watch Lyon versus PSG. Going back to this for a second though, like it's not really like I get it that it's like, well, if Liverpool can't beat them, then they won't drop points. Like they're never going to drop points. City are not going to drop very many points between now and the end of the season. We know that. That's just how they are. But it's not like they didn't drop points to Aston Villa. Aston Villa are not as good as Liverpool. Or we know that both teams are like not, you know what I mean? So I get the point. I get the point that, well, if they don't lose to Liverpool, then that means that they'll never drop any points. But we have 4 points ahead of them right now, and we need to focus on winning our games. We're too hyper focused on them dropping points. So, if that's what you want to be focused on, fair enough, but it's just going to make you sick. You're going to be checking the City scores and being disappointed. So, yeah. But listen, you guys, that was fun. I enjoyed hanging out, even though we didn't get the result that we wanted. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel on the way out. I'm going to go eat some food and relax. And we'll definitely talk on the next one. Bye, y'all.